Hey, man.
How's it, Sid? How are you doing?
Good, man. So happy belated birthday. So how was it?
Yeah, thanks a lot, bro. Yeah, it was a very nice morning. Had a great morning. Obviously, I was at work for the rest of the day, but luckily I got the weekend off, so I scored at the end of the day. Hey?
Nice, nice. And nothing to make the weekend better with some cricket on the go. And let's get to South Africa and England. They won the series 2-1. I know we did predict it, but I do feel England could have won the series as well because the first ODI was there to take. Let's not make any bones about that. But I think England wanted it more, so credit to us. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, new management. It's a new era. Step in the right direction, eh? I think it's a step in the right direction. This is a positive, and we predicted this result prior to the series 2-1. I called it. If you look at England, their intensity was a bit low in the series at times, eh? They didn't play with that same intensity that you expect an England side to play. I think especially in that second game, they were really flat. The first game, I mean, they kind of bottled it, eh? They kind of bottled that game. If you recall, the first one in Bloemfontein, they really bottled that one. So
that was this.
Yeah, and then SA, I mean, you know what? They could have easily won the series 3-0. I think they just took the foot off the pedal in that final game. But I mean, credit to Milan and credit to Butler. They played superbly. But I think as a whole, I think it was a fair result in the end. SA just did enough to win that series, and crucially, they did win that series because, I mean, we know what's at stake here. So we really know what's at stake here. And the points are so crucial. So, I mean, Bavuma was very, very impressive in the series. Eh? His captaincy, his batting was fantastic. I mean, I can't fault him. I think there were some good performances from Miller. Miller looks a mature player now. Eh? He looks very mature at the crease. He knows what is expected of him. I guess I was a little bit disappointed in De Kock. I think he didn't kick on the series. He probably there was a big innings for him here somewhere there, but he didn't really kick on. But having said that, I think it's a positive step in the right direction. Shukri Korar is a good coach. He's an experienced coach, and you can see there's a level of positivity with the way they're playing their cricket at the moment, especially in the batting. They're going for it, and you even saw that last game. Klaasen was pretty impressive in the series as well, mind you. He was pretty impressive. Yeah, there is a lot of positives to take off from the series, but I think the main thing was winning the series, and they did that. So, on to the next series, next assignment, which is obviously the Netherlands, which is really important. And there's some. That's Super League.
Okay, let me see something. I don't think we're playing the Netherlands yet. I think we're playing the West Indies, but I think that's only on the. That's actually on the 28th of February at our favorite ground, Centurion. It's like a fortress for us, like the Gabba with Australia, and then we got them in Joburg, second test, and then we got we have playing 2 tests against them. Oh, that stinks. And we got about 3 ODIs, which is more like West Indies forte. Actually, yeah, along with the T20, so that should be fun. But yeah, I think if you want to go through the test matches quickly, I'm expecting SA to win 2-0. Those 2 grounds suit us to the T. That's pretty much it. Can't say anything more than that.
Yeah, when I was referring to the next assignment, which is Netherlands, as I said, I'm not a big fan of the Super League. I think it's I think it's a load of crap because I mean there's some series that count for points, there's some series that don't count for points. So I mean, there is no consistency. It doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah. If you look at the Test Championship, the Test Championship is probably much more exciting because every series counts for something. But the Super League just doesn't make any sense at all. There's no logic to it. So that is why I'm so frustrated in it. Because I mean, if you look at the top 8 teams, it is one of the top 8 teams in the world at the moment. Looking at the rankings, so they obviously deserve to be at the World But however, there's a few more hurdles to come, and then obviously Netherlands is going to be massive. That series is going to be massive, and there's obviously a few things that go their way as well.
Don't we need to beat the West Indies as well? Because we are playing them in the ODIs, unless those don't count for the points in the Super League. That's another story on its own.
Yeah. So then again, you bring this issue up. This is the insanity of this the Super League. The West Indies series doesn't count for points. The West Indies series doesn't count for Super League points, and there's three matches there. So I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me, bro. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know what the ICC were thinking with this. There seems to be logic, but those test matches, those are absolutely crucial. Those test matches are absolutely crucial in order to answer qualifying for that.
I don't expect us to lose in those 2 rounds. Those pitches will be spicy. Yeah, those are spicy pitches, Centurion and Wanderers. But anyway, that's pretty much how it goes. Let's move on to the SA20 League. You were right about the Pretoria Capitals. They definitely made the finals easy. The surprise package is Sunrise Eastern Cape, if I'm correct in saying so. That's a surprise team. I didn't expect them to make it. I thought the Joburg Super Kings would have made it, but kudos to them. I mean, they probably peaked at the right time, so I can't write them off. But the favorites are the Protea Capitals. I think they would be deserved winners. Should they win today, actually? Oh my gosh, they're playing today. Incredible.
Well, they're actually not playing today because there's torrential rain in Joburg at the moment. So I've just been on the SuperSport app, so that game is postponed till tomorrow. So I think it's a nice it's a nice game for a Sunday. Yeah, it's a nice game for a Sunday afternoon. Everybody can plug in and watch that game. But it's going to be a fascinating final. Hey, it's going to be a fascinating final. If you look at the Pretoria Capitals, they obviously got so much of firepower in their bowling and in their batting. But I think Sunrisers, I mean, this is a team that we actually wrote off. I'll be honest and say we wrote this off at the beginning of the competition. I mean, we looked at MI Cape Town, who have been so disappointing in this tournament. So absolutely disappointing. DSG, I think Durban Super Giants, they probably came to the party too late. There were some good performances. There were some shambolic performances as well from DSG, especially 280 all-outs.
They came second last, actually.
Correct.
I think
and then obviously... and then obviously Joburg Super Kings, that was probably a shootout. But I mean, boy, oh boy, what a performance from Markram. What a performance from Aiden Markram in that semi-final. That was probably the innings of the tournament. 100 of 53 deliveries. That's fantastic. And obviously good signs for the Proteas as well that he's in good form. But I mean, that innings really took the game away from the Joburg Super Kings. But I mean, valiant effort from them as well. They got pretty close with Visa making a fantastic 96, but they've been the surprise package. I think Pretoria Capitals are the favorites tomorrow. I mean, judging by the side that they have, as you said. But I mean, I don't want to discount the Sunrisers team, because I mean, Aiden Markram in that sort of form, that destructive form, and then you got Puma as well in that setup there. I mean, it was a surprise that he got there, but there's a few players in that. There's a few dangerous players in that Sunrisers setup. I mean, you got Janssen, you've got Stubbs. I mean, Stubbs can explode at any given time. I mean, he's still a youngster, but I mean, he's got that firepower, down the road. But I think a lot is going to be reliant on Aiden Markram. If Aiden Markram gets going tomorrow, this could be a fantastic fight. But I think Pretoria Capitals, with the team that they have, they're playing on a high felt. I think they probably have the edge there. I mean, if you look at Nokia, you've got Nisham there, you've got Rashid, you've got Full Salt, you've got Riley the Soul, you've got Jax. This is a firepower team. I mean, if you look at it.
Yeah, so nothing is ever, it's all about which team pitches up on the day, nothing is ever on paper, if you know what I mean. And if I look at this distance here
I think when you look at the T20 World Cup, it just goes to show that you can't take anything for granted. You can't just pitch up there. This is cricket. This is the nature of T20 cricket, so it is unpredictable. I think in ODI and Test cricket, you're going to get the best going to win, because the class will obviously show off, you know, as the longer the game goes on. But in T20 cricket, it's an absolute gamble. I think that's why it's so exciting at times, because any team can win. So you really can't take anybody for granted. So it's going to be a fantastic final, I think. I think Sunrise has peaked at the right time, as you said. Pretoria Capitals have been steamrolling from the start. With that pace you have. And
I think
fantastic. It's going to be a fantastic game.
Yeah, the last 3 they've won 7, and Sunrisers have been they've won 4. You know what's sad about this whole situation? 1, 2, 3 teams were on 19 points. It was a net run rate that basically screwed Durban, because they were by minus 0.02 against Paul Royal, so they could have been in the finals of Durban. So, and Durban won so big. I thought they were really in the reckoning there. I mean, they were so close. Maybe next time, maybe let's change the captain next time, because Quinton is just useless as captain. I should say that, but gosh, he's a Keshav. Keshav is a willing and able guy. You should just captain. You must change the captain next season. I guarantee you, he would have made the semis with a better captain. I don't think Quinton is a natural captain. That's my feelings on that issue.
You know the most disappointing thing, if you look at that DSG side, I mean, they got such a great side on paper. You look at that side on paper, I mean, that batting lineup, I mean, it's fantastic. Okay, I mean, you look at that class, you've got Klassen, you've got Tekok. You know, you've got Matthew Britska, you've got, I mean, if you look at that bowling lineup, you've got Topley. You've got Jason Holder. On paper, that side is as good as you can get. Hey, I mean, they've got everything. They've got all rounders. They've got fast bowlers. They've got batters that can hit the ball out of the park. And if you look at that coaching staff they have as well, it's a fantastic coaching. You got Lance there. You've got Krishna there. You've got Morning.
Legend.
I mean, fantastic setup. But I think the one thing that really did just, made them fall short in this tournament were those 2 performances with the bat, when they got bundled out for 80, and I think that cost them. If they batted out their 20 overs, they probably went through that performance against the Pretoria Capitals at Kingsmead and one away Sunrise. Those were very, very poor performances, and I think that cost them a place. But I mean, on paper, that's a decent side. I mean, Keshav, I obviously back him as a better captain than De Kock. I think De Kock is a reluctant captain. We've said this millions of times. He didn't work out with the Proteas. Certainly not going to work out with this franchise as well. So obviously, I mean, it's the first season. I mean, you don't want to be too hard on them, but I think it's time to rethink the strategy. But I think if they underperform next season, then I think the fans are going to get a bit impatient there.
Yeah. On a final note, do you think Mumbai failed because of captaincy, or do you think they just didn't pitch up at all?
I think inconsistency was the real problem with MI. I think there was some flashes of brilliance and there was some real poor performances and all. So I think inconsistency. If you look at the sides that have made the final, I mean, Pretoria Capitals, consistency. That is what we always talk about. They deserve to be in the final. And then Sunrisers, I mean, they played the game well. They played the situation. So I think Max from MI and DSG wasn't there in this tournament. I think at times they left winners and the exuberance of youth of Brevis. I mean, I hope he comes good in the next tournament, because he's a real talent. He's still a youngster. He's still a kid. I don't want him to. I don't want people to compare him to AB, because I think there's only one AB. The world will. There'll never be an AB in the world. So I the pressure of comparing him to a great like AB is not good. I think he just needs to be his own person, and and that's how he's going to shine. That's how he's going to shine in the future.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember now. What are they gonna? Yeah, I think that's pretty much on that section of that situation. Oh yeah, I remember what to say. So a final wrap. We both concur that Pretoria Capital will win, right?
Yeah, I'm going for Pretoria Capitals. I'm going for Pretoria Capitals.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we go to the final segment, which is Australia and India. My God, I didn't expect such a quick demolition job. Inside 3 days, I can see you. Yeah, okay. They won by an innings and 132 runs. Ravindra Jadeja had a dream match, 5 for 47 with the ball, made 70 runs, and then 2 for 30. Oh, and before we speak about it, there was a lot of hangama regarding pitches, our favorite topic. I don't think this pitch was devilish. I thought even your favorite Ian Chappell thought it was a good pitch. So, and I put that in inverted commas, by the way, favorite. So, yeah, what are your thoughts overall on this match?
I think this was an absolute hiding. Absolute hiding. I think Australia. I mean, completely outplayed in this game. I think if you kind of bitch about the pitch, you're kind of wasting your time, because I mean, if you look at India, and look at how they batted. I mean, Rohit was sensational. Batted superb innings. But I mean, the Indian lower order, I mean, the way they played was so impressive, sir. Absolutely impressive. I mean, the likes of Kami, you had Agsa, you had Jadeja. I mean, they all contributed so much to this innings here. I mean, 400. The application they showed there was amazing. I think keeping Lyon quiet was a good move as well. I know the other debutant took 7 wickets, Murphy, but I think I think they milked the Aussie bowlers quite well here. But Australia's application, absolutely woeful with the bat in this game. I mean, if you look at these deliveries that got them out, a lot of these deliveries were straight deliveries. So they weren't really turning prodigiously. So I think if you talk about the pitch being substandard and all, I think that's a load of crap, because I think Australia, they got beaten, I think, in the 8th probably. There wasn't that much, I would say, prodigious turn. If you look at those dismissals, a lot of them straight deliveries. The Australians were missing straight deliveries. When I look at that, I don't see it much as a pitch. I think it is a lack of footwork. It's a lack of footwork from Australia.
And mindset.
Yeah, it's definitely mindset and definitely a lack of footwork, because I mean, if you're coming from Australia, especially in Western pitches, you're playing on the back foot more or less. So you kind of get lazy, and you don't want to be on the front foot. But in India, you've got to get to the pitch of the delivery. You have got to get to the pitch of the delivery. If you make that ball pitch, and that ball is gonna give you nightmares. So I mean, a lot of those deliveries were straight deliveries that they went out to, and they were caught in the crease ultimately for a lack of foot movement. So it's back to the drawing board for Australia, but I mean, fantastic performance from India. I think the selection of Renshaw just didn't make any sense to me, sir. I mean, Travis Head has been one of Australia's best batsmen this year, along with the likes of Smith and Labuschagne. So I could not understand. And I mean, he's a counter-attacker. He's kind of like in that interest sort of mode. You know, when the chips are down, he can come and counter-attack. So I could not understand selection one bit. I mean, you got a guy like Matt Renshaw, has been out in the wilderness for like 6 years now, 5-6 years, and you throw him into a series in India. A series in India, one of the most difficult challenges in world cricket, mind you, one of the most toughest places to win matches, let alone test. And you throw him in the deep end. So I think that was a bit foolish from the Australian management and selectors to throw him. And I'm sure there's going to be changes in the next game. I'm sure. But I mean, completely outplayed. I don't think the pitch had anything to do with it. I just think Australia's application was woeful with the bat. They just didn't score enough runs in that first innings. And I mean, what we saw this morning was an absolute demolition job. And I think it all happened all too soon and all too quickly. I think people were still having breakfast by the time this game was over.
Oh gosh, that's funny, man. I was also quite surprised about Head not being there. I know Ian Chappell also mentioned about that early on. He was a bit surprised why he wasn't in the side. So
doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, four front bowlers. You're going to rely on the part-timers and you're going to expect to beat India. I don't know what they were smoking when they did that selection, but anyway, don't think it would have made much of a difference. So,
yeah, I mean,
it's true. I mean,
if you look at the two quicks, you got Scotty Boland, you got Pat Cummins. I mean, those players are bouncy. They're bouncy wicket bowlers. I mean, they're bouncy pitch bowlers. I don't think Pat Cummins has the variations to work in India, Sid. And same with Boland. I think they're very good, consistent bowlers in Australian pitches and on Western pitches. If you look at Pat Cummins, I'm a big fan of Pat. I think he's a real gentleman of the game. The way he conducts himself, I think he's a good captain. He's one of the good Australians, cool Australians. You know, one of the good guys. You know,
I would think most of them are, actually. I would think most of them are, right? Yeah.
He's a real gentleman.
I would think most of the Australians are there are a few of them that are weird, but I don't mind Australia compared to England. For some reason, I don't connect well with England, I guess, as a team. Back in the day, I used to hate Australia. Now I'm okay with them. It's like more like England that I find weird, but that's another story for another time. Although I do look forward to see how England play on India's pitches. That's another.
As I was saying, I think I think the Indian pitches are not going to suit Pat Cummins with his bowling. I think he needs to find some variations. Because I think he's a bit, orthodox in that sense. Same with Boland. But getting to England, I think he could be a handful in England. I think he could be a handful in England. Those pitches would definitely.
Those pitches will see him. Those pitches will see him, man. Those are swinging pitches. But okay.
Yeah, I mean,
but I will.
This is a fantastic Test cricket. I think we're going to see some good Test cricket this year. I mean, these two series are really going to keep us intrigued. So, it's back to the drawing board for Australia. They were completely outplayed in this game, and I think India, it's just doing the same thing again. Just doing the basics well, which has served them so well in this game. And mind you, this is an Indian side without Rishabh Pant and Bumrah, and they're performing this way. So it says a lot about this.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the news that I think. Sorry about that. Just going to check when the second test is coming out on. Because second test is on the 17th of Feb. It's at Delhi. So I don't know how much that pitch will turn, although I don't think it matters much. I know Stark is coming back for the next test match, so I think that should give Australia some hope, because they really did need some penetration with the pace bowling. Hopefully Travis Head comes back, because the series goes on like this. It's going to be a bit of a funeral for the neutrals, but I know the Indian fans will be dancing for joy, so I don't mind it, considering I'm more pro-India. But as a neutral and deep inside, you want it to be competitive. Otherwise, this is 4-0. I'm calling it. If it goes on like this, it's 4-0 all the way.
I think when you talk about Head and Stark coming into that Australian side, already it makes the side look a lot stronger than what it is. Already, I mean, I think it's a straight swap. Renshaw out because Renshaw looked really, really puzzled in this game. He looked completely out of sorts. I think Manas batted quite well. I mean, Steve Smith, he's a class player. So, you never know when he can come good.
Yeah.
He's just a class player. I think David Warner and Tawaja, I don't think they've got the measure of this Indian pitches. I don't think they've got the measure of this Indian attack as well. But, Steve Smith, he's got a track record. He's got a track record in India. He's done well in India in the past. So you expect him to... You expect a player of that caliber to obviously come good at some point. So, I think Head and Stark coming in. But if you had to bring in Stark, would you drop Boland? Would that be a straight swap for Boland?
Yeah, I think so. And then you'd have Head coming in for Renshaw, as you said. Yeah, Head will come in for Renshaw. Because if I'm going to try and look at the squads here, let me look at this Australian squad quickly before we kind of wrapped up this chat, because this is quite interesting. Oh yeah, it is. Alex Carey was just playing over the top, because I think he doesn't trust his defense, man.
Absolutely,
And they were saying,
absolutely.
yeah, I think, or they could bring in the Lance Morris, in case Stark is not fit, but I think Stark is fit for the second test. The problem is you can't really replace Warner. For who can you replace Warner? So I think Warner is just there by default, man. So I think that's pretty much a sad story.
I don't think blooding youngsters in India is a good thing, because I mean that's like a baptism of fire. The blood youngsters in India. So I think you got to go with experience. If you don't go with experience, you can really get a hammering. So I think it's a straight swap. You bring in Travis Head, and you bring in Stark for Boland, because I think the selections were shocking in this game for Australia, and that's what cost them the game as well. So they were just blown. They were just blown away.
Yeah, but Boland wasn't bad, eh? Boland was at least tidy. Pat Cummins was just erratic, man, on the first day. I think he must have just been shell-shocked with how his team batted, and it somehow affected his brains when he was bowling. Oh, I just think he had an off day. He's human, I think. I won't crucify him.
I think actually not playing in Indian conditions that much, not having experience on those pitches will also cost you, because I mean you tend to perform well in pitches that obviously you're accustomed to. That's why I said it's so important to have variations when you're playing in the subcontinent. You don't have that you can go for plenty of runs. So Australia absolutely blown away in the game, and I mean congrats to India, and I think they just need to keep on doing what they're doing. The one thing that they don't want to get is, you get complacent, you bring Australia back into it.
They can't afford to be. They need to win 3 matches. And I think 3 matches, and they can afford 1 charity loss to Australia. So I think, it's going to be this Friday, 6 a.m. in the morning, and I predict another Indian win. And unless they prepare really batters, which is unlike India, I don't see it happening. Unless they do that Nagpur incident, which was in 2004, when Australia beat India to win the series. I don't know what was the groundsman smoking that day, but I don't think it's going to happen. So I think 4-0.
Well, that'll probably be a good result for the Proteas as well, eh? That'll probably be a good result for the Proteas as well. I mean, they can beat the West Indies 2-0. Probably.
No. Unfortunately, I think I told you last week on the chat, when I think our chat got cut off, that if India win, I don't think we're going to go through. I looked at the scenarios. I think Australia had to do us a favor, which I don't think they're going to be able to do us that favor. Because I think I sent it to you on Facebook, the scenarios. So if India win, then I think I have a feeling it's Australia-India final at Lord's. So it's kind of like a dress rehearsal in a way.
Oh, that's going to be tasty, eh? That's going to be tasty if that happens. But
2 bowling attacks, 2 stubborn teams wanting to win. It just works. Ideally, I wanted to say Australia final, but it's fine. Nothing like India and Australia.
Yeah, I guess it is what it is, eh? But I mean, anything can happen with scenarios. Certain scenarios go your way. So let's see how it goes. I mean,
check out that link on Facebook I sent you on the scenario. That's why I was quite surprised also when I looked at it, and I realized we really don't have much of a chance. Because if India win, but we're really out of it.
Yeah, but what if Australia lose all 4 matches by an innings? What if Australia loses all 4 tests by an innings? What if Australia loses all 4 tests by an innings?
No, I don't think it works like that. I think it's more about the margins of series defeat, which is 4-0, 3-1. I think India will go through to the finals on those scorelines: 3-0, 3-1, 4-0. I think 4-0 sounds better.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's advantage India at the moment, but I think I read this up somewhere that Australia need to draw or win 1 test to actually guarantee themselves a spot in that final.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, they have to. So that 4-0 scoreline actually helps the Proteas, because if they beat the West Indies 2-0, I mean, on those sort of pitches at Centurion and Joburg, it gets them. So I think 4-0 is probably a good result for India and for SA. If Australia continue to play like this, I don't think they got any chance of winning any test matches on this tour, like you said. So let's see what happens. But fingers crossed that they can keep They can't sneak it. It's obviously it's a long shot, but they can probably sneak it. So there is some hope.
Yeah, it's always good to have hope. But then I'm just looking at the status here. A lot for Australia, the win for cricket. Well played, Team India. Chuck the India. I'm looking at the status here on Facebook. I like it. Okay.
Absolutely.
Any final word before we wrap up, or we good?
Yeah, I mean, Pretoria Capitals win the final tomorrow, and India to win the second test.
Okay, see you on the other side.
Cheers, sir. Chat to you soon. Take care.